We all need quiet moments to ourselves, a peaceful afternoon with a book, a walk alone in nature. These are moments of chosen solitude, essential for recharging. But there's a world of difference between that and forced isolation. What happens when loneliness is not a choice, but a sentence? When your entire world shrinks to a tiny, barren space for months or even years. The human psyche, deprived of its most fundamental need for connection, begins to unravel in predictable and terrifying ways. This isn't just about feeling lonely. This is about your mind losing its grip. In the total void of social contact, with no one to talk to, no shared activities, the mind turns inward with no escape. It has no reality check. Simple conversations are how we anchor ourselves, how we test our thoughts against the outside world. Without that, a person's thoughts can spiral into dark, obsessive loops. This extreme deprivation is a direct pathway to severe depression and, for many, a complete break from reality. The mind, desperate for stimulus, can begin to create its own, manifesting as vivid delusions and frightening auditory or visual hallucinations. And this isn't just in your head. This is a physical, measurable alteration of your brain. Under the relentless, unending stress of isolation, the brain sphere, center the limbic system, goes into a state of permanent high alert. It's constantly screaming danger. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain responsible for rational thought, judgment, and self-control, literally begins to atrophy. It shrinks. Your brain fundamentally shifts from a state of logic and reason to one of pure, reactive, and often terrified emotion. It's being rewired for survival in an environment that offers nothing but threat. The damage isn't confined to the mind. The body keeps a detailed score of this profound stress. Individuals subjected to extreme isolation report a complete loss of their sense of time. Days blur into a meaningless cycle of light and dark. Crippling insomnia becomes the norm, robbing them of rest. A host of physical symptoms emerges: heart palpitations, debilitating headaches, and constant dizziness. The body's chronic stress response can even shut down the digestive system, leading to a loss of appetite and dramatic, unhealthy weight loss. The body is screaming for relief in the only way it knows how. Alarmingly, this practice, which the United Nations has officially defined as a form of torture, is shockingly commonplace. In the United States alone, over 120,000 people were held in solitary confinement in a single year. That's 120,000 human beings confined to cells often no larger than a parking space for 22 to 23 hours a day. The history of this practice is telling. It was originally conceived in the 18th century as a humane form of penitence, a quiet place for reflection. However, it was almost immediately condemned for its devastating cruelty. Its modern resurgence wasn't for rehabilitation. It was a tool for crowd control in severely overcrowded prisons. A supposed solution that creates a far deeper problem, and the scars last a lifetime. Leaving a solitary cell doesn't mean you're leaving the trauma behind. Survivors are significantly more likely to develop post-traumatic stress disorder. They often experience intense, crippling social anxiety, making it nearly impossible to be in a crowd or even interact with family. They struggle to reconnect with loved ones, the very people they dreamed of seeing, because their brains have been rewired to see social contact as a threat. The cage may be gone, but the prison remains in their mind. But there is a path forward. While some states have implemented limits on solitary confinement, significant loopholes often allow the practice to continue. Yet, proven, effective alternatives exist. We just have to look at them. Countries like Norway have taken a radically different approach. They invest in rehabilitation, education, and humane treatment within their prison systems. They focus on maintaining social bonds and preparing individuals for a return to society. And the result? Norway has one of the lowest reoffense rates in the world. Their success proves a powerful, undeniable point. True rehabilitation, true public safety, happens in community, not in a cage. The evidence is clear. Prolonged, forced isolation is a brutal practice that breaks people. It doesn't build them up. It's a policy that runs directly contrary to the goals of safety and justice. It creates more trauma, more mental illness, and ultimately makes our communities less safe. If you believe in a more humane and effective justice system, one that values rehabilitation over pure punishment, please share this video. Spreading awareness is the first step toward demanding change. Thanks for watching, and if you want to learn more, please consider subscribing to the channel.